And we say also good morning to our viewing audience as we acknowledge our theme for the month is Romancing the Soul. It's by a longtime friend of mine. His name is Bob Trask. He is the founder of the RS Foundation, teaching these universal principles of life that forward and advance at a very deep level. And I used to have him in my ministry in San Diego a lot, and he lives in the Northwest. And today's topic is that willingness, the call to grow. And that in the ancient Talmud, there is a legend that every blade of grass has a guardian angel whispering, grow, grow, grow. I love that because as long as we are here, it is about unfolding, it is about expanding, it is about learning. And I know that as we are on the cutting edge, someone said, well, I need a practical spirituality full of grit and full of energy. And what I know is that our daily life is our temple and our religion. And that we have something here that allows us to come to cause. That everything has a cause and effect relationship. And the cause begins with ourselves. First cause is God, the energy of the universe. I love this way of life because we know, as you know, tried as it sounds now, where thought goes, energy flows. But it is the truth. Cause and effect, action with intention, put the works with the faith to realize our demonstration. And on Wednesday night, we had one of the most powerful speakers that we have ever had, Dr. Gary Courgiat, who is a Palm Springs therapist, who I met through Dave Davis last summer, who had a wonderful little mastermind group that I decided to go to on Thursday nights. And Gary was one of the participants and always had some wonderful, profound, and succinct, laser-like thing to say. And I said to him, you know, you have the most beautiful voice. Have you thought about, you know, going on radio? And he goes, yes, I have. I actually have. And I also thought about speaking. And I said, great, we'll have you at our Wednesday night live Spirit, Mind, and Body Connection. And he came, and what is so wonderful, which I did not realize that he had not disclosed, is that he was a religious science practitioner at the Hollywood Church. And so he not only brought in his amazing, wonderful, profound, succinct points, but he brought in the energy of spirituality as a ground of being. And he said something so profound and talked about how we come up with feeling the way that we feel. And he came up with a little formula, is that first we have the event. We all have events that occur in our lives. And then we go from the event to the story. We all have a story about different events that we have experienced. Now, the crucial point here is from the event to the story, we go to the feeling. We go to the emotion. We go to the energy. And from there, we go, usually, to reaction. And we create a story around our experience. Now, we know that in the Four Agreements that Don Miguel Ruiz said, you know, the first agreement was to be impeccable with your word, because thoughts are things and words are molds. That which we utter becomes the outer. So we stand porter at the gate of our conscious mind, allowing those things to come forth that we really want to actualize in the outer world. And of course, the second agreement is don't take it personally. This is a profound agreement, because when we go from the event to the story, to the feeling, and then to the action, or possibly the reaction, if we go to action, we're on the solution level. If we go to reaction, we're into our story that does not serve us, and we start moving down the spiral. And we know, you know, it's like those paranoid feelings of the guy that goes to the football game, and every time they get in a huddle, he thinks they're talking about him. Oh my God. We know those feelings. To move past that. But I believe, you know, what Oscar Wilde said, that I'm a paranoiac in reverse. I believe people are plotting to make me happy. I love that. And that, you know, and people get in their little whispering things. Yeah, it's so interesting how we, you know, we have to kind of add on to that what they may be talking about. I love Bette Midler when Beaches, when she said, "Enough about me. What do you think of me?" You know? Yeah. It's not always about us. It's not always about me. So he gave an analogy, and I love it when people self-disclose. I love it, love it, love it. He said, "I'll give you a little example. I share office space with another therapist. She came to me and said, I'm going to be gone for the summer, and I've got stuff going on. So I don't think I want to share office space. I just want to, our lease expires. I just want to move on." So he said, "I was disappointed. I really like this woman. We really have a good, wonderful relationship. And, but I made it all right with myself." He said, "So I went to a real estate agent, and I'd like to look at office space. I'm a therapist, and I need something, very special." And he said, an interesting thing happened. Another therapist came and was looking for office space. Now, you know where I'm going with this. And he said, "Oh, what is their name?" And so he shared the name. He goes, "Oh, I'm sharing office space with her now." So, we go from the event, right, to the story, to the feeling, to the action, or possibly the reaction. So he said all kinds of things were going through my head. But I took action and I called her and said, "Oh, I understand that you're looking for office space." And he said, she reiterated, "You did not get my email? You haven't looked at your email?" And he said, "Well, no, I haven't." He said, "I found the perfect office space for us. And I emailed you." And he said it was so powerful because those dynamics that are, they're absolutely in place, and they become automatic dynamics of unfinished business that we have that gets triggered. And when they come into play, when we can be on the solution level, realizing that we all have things in our lives that occur, and that we sit down quietly to ponder the things that occur, and not go to the worst possible scenario that it could possibly be. That there could be something else unfolding here. And I also think it's important when we have things going on to pay attention. And I remembered when I was sharing with Louise Hay that someone had taken advantage of our ministry, and she said, "You weren't paying attention." And that business is business and friendship is friendship, and I never forgot those words. So when we begin to pay attention in a new way in life, we begin to realize that that one goes before us and prepares the way, and that we are not going to have experiences that occur in our lives. We definitely have the things of the humanity, energies, the sorrows, the deaths, the transitions, the joys. We have the opening, the heart, the ahas, where we know that where it's happening, and the pull to God. We can see, I choose God, universal mind, Yahman. It is all the same mountaintop, the view, all, and to have our spirituals in place, to set our tone first thing in the morning. I sleep in peace, I wake in joy, and I live in the ever-present moment of now, this moment, and do not jump outside myself. Now, it's interesting, we have a wonderful community here, and the other day I had to put my car into the garage. And, I noticed that, it was leaking, kind of a clear fluid, and people were telling me that it was leaking, and I realized it was leaking, and I was, taking it in and going to take it in. And then when I, smelled that it was smoking, I thought, well, yeah, that's a good indication that I need to take it in.